And you welcome back. The state chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has rejected the impeachment process initiated by the Rivers State House of Assembly against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odu. Now, for in-depth analysis on this move and what it means for the entirety of Rivers State, we're joined by the Chief Press Secretary to the former Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Godswill Jumbo. He joins us virtually on the news. Jumbo is also a publisher as well. He joins us from the capital of Rivers State, Port Harcourt. Sir, you're welcome to the program. Thank you so much for coming on to the news. Let me start with your assessment of APC's rejection of this impeachment process against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy. What do you make of this move?
The APC has a lot at stake as we speak with regards to what's happening in Rivers State. You know the tripod, Nigeria's political tripod. Every presidential election has three legs: the propaganda arm, which is the southwest, the votes from the north, especially the northwest, and then the funds from the south-south, especially Rivers State. So now APC has the southwest, has the north, but the south-south is shaky. Now, the last governor and the most important governor in the South-South, who just joined the train, is being threatened alongside his deputy. You know, in the run-up to the 2027 election, it is clear that the APC has no choice but to protect Rivers State. No presidential election has been won in Nigeria without Rivers State. So the APC cannot even afford, cannot risk to lose Rivers State. So you may not understand why the APC did not waste time in rising to the occasion to call the House of Assembly members to order and, to ask them to, discountenance the idea of impeaching the governor. If you impeach the governor, what's the guarantee that the next person that is coming is going to play ball, especially with all the intelligence that have been gathered, about the political activities of the political leader of the House of Assembly members. He appears not to be altruistic with all that has been happening. So the House of Assembly members, having defected to the APC, has put themselves under the leadership of the APC. So the APC has to rise to the occasion to call them to order. If the Rivers State cannot have a crisis, not in 2026. Just roughly one year to the election. So they can't even afford it. So you may understand why they are reacting as strongly as they have done. The state chapter of the APC yesterday condemned the impeachment move. The chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Ngozi Odu of Imo State, also has spoken that they will stand by their colleague governor. And then you also see the national leadership, speaking out in favor of the governor. So my assessment of the situation is that the APC will not allow his house in Rivers State to be burnt down.
And this is the very first time we've seen the colors change in Rivers State, and very historical, I must say, because we're also seeing it as well with the members of the House and also at the local level, all changing the colors from the PDP to the APC. But let's look at the allegations that have triggered this impeachment move, right? And if the production can help me pull that up. What's interesting about this is that they have tagged it a gross misconduct, right? Citing budgetary issues, spending, salary arrears, and the likes. The move that has triggered this impeachment move between the legislature and the executive, do you think that they have fair grounds to do it? Let's look at the accusations here. Is it enough grounds? And let's also look at the past. What has set precedents for impeachment, and do they have fair ground to move with this?
Okay, first of all, this is not the first time the flags are changing in Rivers State. The flags changed in 2014 under the Rotimi Amechi administration. That was when I was the chief press secretary to the deputy governor then. So that was when the flag actually changed from PDP to APC. That was the very first time. So this is like the second or maybe third time or whatever. So let's get that. Then, as per the allegations, the issue of any conduct that violates the Constitution is gross. Is gross because it touches at the very fundamentals, at the foundation of what makes us, a nation. So if they turn the allegations gross misconduct and they are founding them on specific aspects of the Constitution that have been violated, yes, that is gross misconduct. But let's also look at them alleging that the governor is spending outside appropriation. Is that actually correct? Without, serving, doing the devil's advocate here for the governor. Is that correct? Because the 2025 budget was passed by the National Assembly during the state of emergency. Has that ceased to exist? And then what about the 6 months window, before a new budget can goes active for, recurrent expenditures? Has that been exhausted? You understand? Then talking about fair ground, for God's sake, they are of the same party. And lawmakers of the APC now waging a war, leveraging, leveraging a war against their own governor, APC versus APC. I don't see that as fair ground. And then what about the interest of Rivers State? The crisis has prolonged. The crisis has become intractable over time. Who is at a loss? Those lawmakers represent constituencies, represent communities. In the middle of all of this drama, what have their people back home, in their villages, in their communities, what has been the benefit for them?
Mr. Jumbo, as we're talking about, this, let's talk about de-escalation, right? Because the Speaker of the House, Honorable Martins Mawale, he said that, this issue, like you just rightfully alluded to, has been prolonged for far too long, and that the president had called them, in fact, he referred to the president as the father, who has acted as a father and called them several times and given the governor several chances to make amends. And so it looks like the president knows about these issues, right? So what step can really and truly lead to a path of reconciliation, resolution, and de-escalating tensions and avoid political instability as we head into 2027?
Okay, for the governor, I would advise that he takes definite steps which are very obvious to the people of Rivers State to show that he is trying to reach out, that he is altruistic, that he is forthcoming, that he is forthright, that he is sincere about, diffusing the tension. The people of Rivers State deserve to know what's going on. For the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, he needs to be reminded that he is not the Speaker of his political godfather. He is the Speaker of Rivers people. He is the chief lawmaker of the people of Rivers State. So can he come clean? Can he show us evidentially what he is doing to engage with the governor? Because after the deputy governor is him. He's the number 3 citizen of Rivers State. So what is he doing specifically? So he needs to come out clean. That behind the scenes, through back channels, through direct engagement with the governor and other stakeholders, he is also working with this. We want to see that happen. We don't want to hear impeachment. We don't want to hear the political crisis. We want to hear altruistic efforts. We want to hear moves that are being made in the interest of Rivers people.
All right. I must say thank you, sir, for taking out the time to join us here. Godswill Jumbo, he is a Chief Press Secretary to former Deputy Governor of Rivers State, as well as a publisher. Once again, many thanks. We wait to see whether or not the governor will come out and what his speech would look like. Once again, thank you.